The term noble savage expresses the concept of the so-called natural man, untouched by the supposedly corrupting influences of civilization. The term is founded on the belief that in this state of nature, human beings are essentially good. Their evil impulses and destructive behaviors hold the theory manifest only as a result of societal stresses.
During the late 16th and 17th centuries, Western literature spotlighted the indigene or savage, and later increasingly the good savage, to show Europeans just how morally decrepit their supposedly advanced civilization was. The term noble savage only began to be widely used in the last half of the 19th century, and then as a term as disparagement. In French, the term had been the good savage, and the word savage did not necessarily have the same connotations of cruelty we associate it with, but meant wild.
The actual phrase noble savage first appeared in 1672 in John Dryden's heroic play, The Conquest of Granada. I am as free as nature first made man, ere the base law of servitude began. When wild in the woods, the noble savage ran. The term was subsequently identified with the idealized figure of nature's gentleman, which was an aspect of 18th century sentimentalism, a movement in literature and philosophy typified by a conscious effort to induce emotion, coupled with a firmly rooted belief in the inherent goodness of humanity. At that time, the word savage did not connote cruelty as it does today, but rather the unencumbered freedom of an individual living in harmony with nature.
The philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau contended people were born with great potential for goodness, but that civilization invariably corrupted them and alienated them from their higher selves. He believed that in a state of nature, men are essentially animals, and that they become fully human only by accepting and abiding by a social contract. He looked upon the distant past, the era preceding the formation of cities and civilization, as halcyon days when men were more or less universally equal, and thus untroubled by envy and greed. As a corollary to this perspective, Rousseau saw private property and the desire to acquire ever more of it as the root cause of human suffering, which routinely romanticizes the noble savage, who is without property and technology. The Western world readily whitewashes and forgives the unsavory or barbaric elements of non-Western noble savages all over the world, but spares no energy in condemning the ills and transgressions they committed. And finally, the Western world has inherited Rousseau's contempt for private property and the capitalist economic system that is founded upon it.